Anchorage is the biggest city in Alaska, but compared to other American cities, it is quite small, with a population of just 290,000 people. The weather here in winter is extreme, with temperatures down to minus 10 degrees Celsius. But surprisingly, even with such a minor population and heavy winter, Anchorage has the world's third busiest airport in terms of cargo, surpassing massive cities like Shanghai and Seoul. In America, it is the second biggest cargo hub, only surpassed by Memphis, which is number 1 just because it's FedEx's biggest hub and their headquarters. Now, Anchorage is not a big exporter of anything except bulk natural resources like oil and minerals that are shipped out on ships. What it does export in great volume is fish fillets and frozen seafood, but that isn't nearly enough to get Anchorage at the position it is right now. Also, Anchorage is not a big importer of anything, which can't be shipped by ships too. So the big question is why Anchorage Airport is so busy with cargo traffic even though it isn't a great producer or consumer of anything. Well, you see, Anchorage might lack in population or a major in-city production, and also it might have extreme weather conditions too, which are exactly all the things a cargo hub doesn't usually have. But one massive advantage it does have, which no other city in the world has in common, is the location. Anchorage might be on the corner of America, but it isn't corner of the world. Actually, it is the center of the world. Anchorage is less than 10 hours by air to 95% of major global markets. Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Tokyo are all massive transportation hubs, and Anchorage is the location between all these cities and North America, which means all the planes coming from Asia has the same place to take a stop. You see, Anchorage might be the third biggest cargo hub, but cargo planes that arrive here are not actually coming here, but rather just taking a stop. And since Asia is the producer of a lot of things that Americans demand, there's a hefty amount of Boeing 747s and 767s that take a stop here every day. In fact, 80% of all cargo flights that operate across the Pacific make a technical stop at Anchorage. This stop would be to refuel, change crews, and in some cases to transfer cargo to other planes. It is why major integrator airlines like FedEx, UPS, and DHL all have a significant presence at the airport in support of their growing international cargo operations. But why would planes take a stop when they can just go direct to the city they wish? Well, the primary advantage for cargo carriers to make a stop at Anchorage is that they can maximize their payload to fuel ratio. In other words, by being able to carry more cargo and less fuel, they can operate with more efficiency and greater profitability. A carrier can carry an additional 100,000 pounds of revenue cargo by making a fuel stop in Anchorage. It's a simple but powerful incentive to make use of the Anchorage stopover. And in bonus, Anchorage is right on the route to North America, so planes don't have to lose any fuel. However, if an aircraft decides to go direct, then it would carry less cargo and more fuel, and the only thing that they would be saving here would be an hour which they didn't have to spend at ANC. The Anchorage airport is the best option for the whole of Asia, and it didn't take much time for the government of Alaska to realize that back in 2004, when they permitted air cargo to or from a foreign country to be transferred to another airline in Alaska. Unlike airports elsewhere in the US, foreign carriers can legally transfer cargo between jets at the Anchorage airport. These expanded cargo transfer rights make Anchorage extremely flexible for cargo airlines, which can make use of time on the ground refueling to also carry out transfers between their own planes and those of other carriers. Anchorage is one of the few airports in the world with this facility and is the only one in America. These transfer rights include online transfers between a carrier's own aircraft, interline transfers between one carrier and another carrier, and change of gauge, which is transfers from a wide-bodied freighter aircraft to one or more smaller aircraft flying to potentially multiple destinations from Anchorage. These operations at the airport need a lot of people to support, and that is why it is estimated that 1 in 10 jobs in the Anchorage area is a result of business activity generated at the airport. It might be directly or indirectly linked, like a manufacturer or a shipment local packaging company. In recent years, these jobs are growing even more as the Anchorage airport is showing tremendous growth in cargo shipments. The growth here is directly linked to the ongoing expansion of trade between China and America. China has a massive contribution in global e-commerce, and hence millions of packages shipped by Amazon and eBay get transported to America and go through here. The airport is booming with growth in the past 2 years. The online products that people purchase are mostly made in China, and since 80% of cargo planes have a stop in Anchorage, it means that 80% of the products that are coming from China have also been to Anchorage as well. In fact, there's a very good chance that the phone that you are holding in your hand has been through Anchorage. The rise of Amazon has certainly increased the airport's aircraft number. In fact, on a typical day, you could easily see 5 to 6 B747 freighters heading to Amazon's base in Cincinnati, with other 777s heading to other locations throughout America. But despite that growth, the airport lacks the services of its competitors. It's largely a fuel stop and crew change site for the jumbo jets headed to other airports. If plane technology were to be a little more advanced and they had better fuel efficiency, then no airline would take a stop at Anchorage, and the airport would basically be empty with just a few domestic flights. Although other cargo hubs at the same time would have no problems because they are basically originating the cargo. Anchorage wants to change that and make sure that planes never stop coming here. They're planning to build a warehouse with refrigerated storage facilities. With this, more fresh salmon could be shipped to restaurants in the lower 48, and it might also heighten demand for Alaska peonies, which is the only place in the world where the popular flower is available. Apart from the cold storage, a 500,000 square foot cargo transfer facility is also proposed to enable faster cargo transfer between aircraft. If the new facility is built, foreign jets can still transfer products without having to worry about making sure the other jet has arrived. And they can do it more efficiently, at more convenient times. Long term, the airport should see continued gains in cargo because of the strong demand in the US for products from Asian countries, although it still would be hard for Anchorage to change from a stopover. This is because Alaska doesn't have much cargo originating in Alaska, and what they do have doesn't get transported by planes. So the main motive for Anchorage for the next years will be to give cargo planes a reason to stop, beyond fuel and crew changes. Right now, Anchorage is a growing hub with huge opportunities. It will remain a valuable transportation infrastructure asset that continues to pay dividends for Anchorage and the rest of the state. The airport's growth will ensure the growth of businesses that are connected to the airport and will keep Anchorage and Alaska important players in the world of global transportation.